A few years back in 2018 when I first started my YouTube channel, I bought this thing. My buddy Brian decided to move to the other side of the earth, meaning Australia, and marry a lady. Good for him. Even better for me, because I get to buy this awesome truck. And he gave me a really good deal, so thanks, Brian. When I bought this truck, I had zero plans. I just got a really good deal because a buddy of mine was leaving. So I figured a guy will just snag it up, and then when I have time and or resources to work on it, I'll work on it. And the time is kind of now. I don't really have any time, and I have very little money, but I do have space in the shop for it. But what we're gonna do today is try and get this thing into the shop because it's supposed to snow tomorrow, and then see if we can get it running. I honestly have not opened the hood of this truck since I bought it. I have no idea what it looks like underneath. I heard that the engine was missing some parts, and that's about all I know. But I know that all the doors open, so there's a plus. I know that one of the windows is plexiglass, also a plus. It can't break if it's plexiglass, right? Anyway, I'll show you around the old girl. I have done my absolute best to preserve this truck as well as I could. I haven't had anywhere to store it inside, so I have had a good, nice tarp over this. I just barely pulled the tarp off of it so you all could see it. I put, wood over the bed so the bed wouldn't hold water over the winter. It seems like it's in pretty decent shape. Nothing's really gotten any worse, and I absolutely love the patina on this truck. I have no idea how many colors it's been painted over the years, but I count at least 3. And there's some lettering on the side of the bed. I have no idea what it says, but there are some letters and numbers, possibly. I don't know. I can't really read. I guess a good place to start would be in the bed of the truck, because I honestly don't even remember what's in there. It's nice when you remodel your house and you have leftover wood to protect your old crap with. It's always a good time. I appreciate that. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a tailgate. I've never had a tailgate. Brian never had a tailgate on it as far as I know. And I haven't been able to find one. Maybe one day I'll make one, but honestly, I really don't care at this point. The bed itself looks pretty good. It's very beat up, but there's really no holes in it. This was a farm truck way back in the day, and as far as I know, they just used it to haul firewood. So, really no complaints. I mean, it's rusty, and there's definitely not a hole underneath my finger in the bed, but really it looks pretty good. The tire looks pretty decent. Where did I get that tire from? Unfortunately, I'm 100% certain that 0 of the 4 tires hold air. This one looks like it wouldn't be too bad to get going again, but it is off the bead. But this truck is pretty straight for being an old farm truck and, kind of being in the state that it's in. There's really not a whole lot of damage or rust. The bottom of this door is a little bit peeled out, and there's a little bit of surface rust, and I can see one cancer hole right there, but really, I mean, look at her. I can't wait to drive this thing. It's gonna be awesome. Does that have wind in it? Okay, I stand corrected. That might actually have some air in it. I think it's time to open up the door and figure out what's inside the truck. I haven't opened it in quite a while, so we'll see. I would love to say that I was gonna do the Derek Vice Grip Garage sniff test on the inside of the truck, but my nose does not work, and I have a cold. So, double whammy. I'm gonna have no idea what the inside of this truck smells like. Hopefully it doesn't smell like dead fish. The interior of the truck actually looks pretty good. The headliner is sagging a little bit, and there's some whatever that is on the seat. But, I mean, the whole seat's there. There's no rips in it. It looks pretty good. Steering wheel is not stock, but I love that it has a Suicide knob. So we'll ignore that. And for some reason, I'm missing half of my fuzzy dice. Playing cards. What are these? Ooh. 10 of diamonds and a joker. Where's the other 50 cards? I don't know. Keep those for later. Dash looks pretty good. It's in really, really good shape. If you can see it through the steering wheel. All the gauges are there. Missing a radio. That's okay. You just need the sound of the engine to keep you busy. Oh. What size is it? 7/16. Hell yeah. That's mine. I like the shift knob. I'll probably keep that. But interior looks pretty good. I know that glass is the original glass. The plexiglass in here is the driver's door. That's okay. Oh! Nice. I'll grab those later. But I'm going to leave this on there just for now. She's looking pretty good. Lots of bugs on the dash, but that's okay. It's been sitting a long, long time. We'll get her cleaned up. It is missing the visors, but I think I actually have those somewhere. I might have those in a box. Oh, they're gone. Okay. Do we have a clutch pedal? No. That does absolutely nothing. Awesome. Brakes. Nope. Nothing there either. Great. One upside is that I know for a fact that Brian gave me the keys when I bought the truck. The downside of that upside is that I have no idea where I put those keys. It'll be fine, I think. Alright, moment of truth. What does the engine look like? I genuinely don't remember what Brian told me, and I know I've looked under this hood, but it's been since about 2018 since I've looked under this hood. I have no idea what it looks like. So, I hope the engine's still in there. I have no idea. How do I... Oh, baby. Come on now. Yeah. Woo. She's a 6-cylinder flavor, as I suspected. It didn't grow 2 more cylinders the whole time I've had it. Thought these were supposed to get bigger with time, but I guess not. I'm glad it's winter, almost, because there's a lot of nests in there. The very first thing I have noticed is that, whoop, free wrench, that's mine. Ooh, what, 9/16? It's a Pittsburgh, but free wrench. Thanks, Brian. What else we got in here? Oh, that's not good. I think something's supposed to go there. I don't remember that. I got the oil bath air cleaner, but I don't have the carburetor. Well, we have to get one of those. Fuel line, unsurprisingly, is dry. That's okay. But all in all, other than the carburetor being missing, it looks pretty complete. I have no idea what that is. To be honest, that kind of looks like cat hair. It looks like a spider web nest thing in the camera, but yeah, one of my cats has been in here. I know exactly which one that was. Lexi! Oh, she's right here somewhere. But it looks pretty complete. Other than that, and if I remember right, I think Brian said that one of the freeze plugs popped out. Yep, right there. Yep, she popped out. That's okay. Really, I just want to... Oh. Hello. Mini screwdriver. Other screwdriver. No way. Ha ha ha. This is mine now. Yeah. Other than missing the carburetor and the one freeze plug, we are together. There's really not a whole lot that I need to do. Oh, why did you take the radiator cap, sir? I need that. Well, I probably have one floating around here somewhere. He did give me a bunch of parts for this truck in boxes, so I'm hoping that maybe I've got the stuff to get this going in the shop somewhere. But the engine looks good. It's really oily, but you know what? It's an old straight 6. It is what it is. What are you? All in all, everything that we need is here minus the one thing. And I see that there's some extra things. That big old thing over there, and several of them over there, and one right next to my head. I am so glad I waited till it was cold to do this. This truck, for some reason, is an absolute wasp magnet. I go through cans and cans and cans every year trying to keep them out of this thing, and I can't keep them away. So now's a good time of year to do this. I can get it in the shop, get it cleaned out, and hopefully we can figure out a better way to store this thing so it's not full of dump bees or angry flies every time I go near it. I have been stung several times from angry flies that reside within this vehicle. Well, that's basically the tour of the whole truck. You've seen pretty much all the stuff. The passenger side looks just like the driver's side. There's really no big damage anywhere, which is very pleasing to me. So I need to do some cleanup, get some stuff out of the way, because we need to figure out how to get this truck drug inside of the shop. I don't have very far to go, but I also don't have my diesel truck here. I'm trying to sell my Duramax, so it is sitting out on a road somewhere with a for sale sign in the window, which means that I have no big equipment to move this with. So I have a few things that we can try, but we'll see how that goes. Well, the biggest truck I have to move this truck with is the Danger Ranger. I call it Dumpy, if you don't know. So I have the F100 hooked up to Dumpy. Hopefully it's got enough poop to scoot it, but I doubt it. It's worth a shot though, right? No. I don't think this is gonna work. I figured the next best thing to try would be the trash car. I gotta move it anyway, and it's the next heaviest vehicle up from the Ranger. In fact, I think it's way heavier than the Ranger. So we'll give this a try, and if I don't have this, I'll try the tractor. I don't know what else to do.
You can't believe it? Me either.
I can't believe it moved it. Alright, I got it up to the door of the shop, at least. And now I have a conundrum. How do I push it into the shop behind the camera? I'm gonna try pushing on the back end of the truck with the tire very gently. I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm a little bit concerned. I really don't want to mess up the bed of this truck, but I don't have another way of getting it in the shop, and it is going to snow tonight. So I really need to figure out how to get this thing in before that happens, because I also need to recover the trash car before it snows so that that doesn't get ruined. At least all the electronics and stuff. I mean, the cars. If you've seen any of my other videos, I haven't been exactly nice to that car. But, well, at least I know it'll tow an F100 with flat tires. So, there's that. I'm gonna try that trick, be as gentle as I possibly can, and hopefully I can at least get the nose close to the door, and then I'll just have to use a come along to get it in the rest of the way. That's the best plan I have, and it's kind of the only option. So it is starting to get a little bit dark. Hopefully y'all can see. I'll film as much as I can. But if you're gonna do something stupid, you might as well film it right. Alright, sorry, I know it's really dark, but I've got a tire with no rim, ratchet strapped to the front of my trash car, and hopefully I can just push on the bumper of the truck and not make anything broken. I'd say I got it pretty close pushing it with the trash car, but that's about as far as we're gonna get. I didn't want to try and push it any farther and risk ruining a bed corner or something like that. So I've got it hooked up to a come along, and this doesn't seem like the best idea. You got a better one? Put it down in the comments. What should I have done rather than what I'm about to do? Fingers crossed. Toes also. Yes! I did it! It's in! Woo! Got her inside, just in time too. It looks like the weather's about to turn outside. But you know what? It's dinner time. I am hungry. So we're gonna pick this up tomorrow. I'm just happy that we got it inside. We'll pick back up on this tomorrow, see what kind of progress we can make. Alright, I'm out of here. Daddy's hungry. Oh good, you're still here. Perfect. So we're gonna get back to work on the truck. I think the best thing to do at this point is just start going at this particular area. Get the hood popped open and see what I need to do to get this engine running. It has been sitting without a carburetor for quite a while, so I want to bore scope all the cylinders, bore scope down inside of the intake manifold, make sure there's no like dirt daubers or giant spiders or something. Oh, not giant spiders. I don't like spiders. Oh man, I don't know what's up with this passenger side hinge, but it's really stiff. Ugh. Okay. Yep. Still not a V8. Dang it. Where is the dipstick? Where are you, little fella? Problem is, it's dark. I can't see nothing. Need a light. Okay. Can I hook this up here without it falling on my head? If I were to go, maybe, can I have something here? I really need to get myself an underhood light. I don't know why I don't have one. Doesn't make a bit of sense. Am I just... Oh, I found it. It was hiding. It's way over here. Little tiny itty bitty little guy. Oh, we got oil. Perfect. Hello, giant spider web. I hate spiders. I got to looking over the old girl, and guess what I found? You know what that is? This means that the front has air shocks. That's right. It's way more better-ish gooder than it was once could have been. And that's cool, because that means I get a little bit of ride height adjustability, right? I think? Maybe. I don't really remember. But I like it. That's pretty cool. So, now I think I'm going to grab a hold of that fan and see if I can get this engine to turn over. You know, I've been thinking, I could not remember exactly when I bought this truck. It was sometime right around when my wife and I got married. So in late 2018. At some point. There's a wasp in here. Keep my eye on you. Anyway, I bought this thing in 2018. It's never ran since I've had it. My buddy Brian sold it to me when he moved. And I was just looking at the registration on the license plate. It looks like this thing was last registered in 16. So it's been down for at least 8 years. 8? 8 or 9, somewhere in there. I don't know if you re-registered it at any point, but the last time we know it was running was in 2016. So we're coming up on a decade that this thing's been sitting. I have no idea if this engine's going to turn, but it has oil in it. So, I mean, that's a good sign, right? Who knows? Anyway, hope this belt's tight enough to turn this thing over. It should have pretty low compression, so it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. But this thing has a flex fan on it, and I really don't want to bend it, ruin it. So, be a little bit careful. And now the belt's just slipping. Hey, it turns! Nice. I would really like to get a ratchet on the crank bolt, but the fan gets in the way, and I really don't feel like taking the fan off. Call me lazy, call me what you want, but I don't want to do it. So, I'm going to take a little time, spin this thing over as much as I can, and then I think we need to do a little bit of an inspection on the driver's side of the block. Well, fantastic news. I turned the motor over 3 or 4 times just for funsies. It's definitely not stuck. But I don't want to roll it over anymore until I take a good long look at what's going on over here. First of all, on my inspection, in lieu of a carburetor, there seems to be about 8 carburetor gaskets. Seems like a pretty fair trade. It's not really going to get us where we want to be, though. I don't know why that there are 8-ish carburetor gaskets installed on the intake, but at least I have spares. A lot of spares. Need to get all those taken off. I'm charging up my borer scope right now so I can look down inside this thing. It's dirty. A lot of spider webs. But it'll be alright. It'll be alright. I'll be fine. It'll be fine. I have also noticed that there are some loose bolts on the intake. So I don't know if that's really hurting us at all. But it is something I'm going to have to remember that I'll probably forget. Also, I know I mentioned that this engine is missing one freeze plug. So I think it would be good to at least scope cylinders 3 and 4. Sure. Make sure that there's nothing going on there. Only one freeze plug came out, and I'm glad it came out, you know, because it froze. And that's what they're supposed to do. I think what I'm going to do is go grab my bore scope. Hopefully it's charged enough. Go scope inside of here. Make sure there's no nasty surprises. I'll probably scope inside of the coolant chamber. I can't remember what it's called. I'm having a really bad brain fart. Bore scope inside of there, see if I can see any cracks in the block. I really hope not. And then probably pull out, yeah, at least the spark plugs for cylinders 3 and 4. And figure out if I can see any cracking in there or any evidence of tomfoolery. Just as I suspected. There is a big old dirt dauber nest in there. And it looks like they're still home. At least one of them is. Cool. Ha! Ah, lovely. That's just great. As far as inside the block goes, I don't really see anything. It's rusty. Sure is. Lovely. Got spider webs all over my camera. Oh, gross. I think this is going really well. I don't know how easily everything's going to come apart. And the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold are bolted together on this particular engine. Thank you, Ford, for your infinite wisdom. However, little tiny bit of a silver lining, I found the keys. Pretty sure these are it, I think. So I'm going to attempt to take the intake and exhaust manifolds off at the same time. I feel like that would be a little bit easier than trying to unbolt them from each other. But it doesn't hurt to try. So, I guess I'll give it the old 1-2, whatever they say. Wish I had more Chinese food. That was really good. You guys, I cannot believe it. By some absolute miracle, this bolt is actually coming out. Which means we might be able to separate the intake and exhaust manifolds. Some of you are probably screaming at the screen right now, "Don't do it!" Honestly, I can't hear you. Scream louder. But I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never worked on one of these before. All I know is that I have dirt daubers living in my intake manifold and I want them out. I'm going to give this my absolute best try, see if I can get this sucker off without breaking any bolts. And we'll come back. I absolutely cannot believe this. I really can't. Every single bolt has been loose. Every single one. They've all come out. I'm loosening a bolt right now with my fingers. It's not really going well, but I'm doing it. There it is. Where did I put my thing? There you are. And I've only dropped one bolt so far. I can see it. It's right down there on the floor. I don't really want to reach for it because I don't know what kind of eight-legged crawly things are underneath this truck. Just ignoring that while I lean underneath this hood that's full of wasp nests. And who knows what else. Every time I look somewhere else underneath this hood, I find another wasp nest. 2 over here, there's 1 over here, there's 3 over there, there's 3 over here, 2 of which are really big, one's kind of tiny. They're everywhere. And I keep pulling out all these little like vine things that are growing up through the engine compartment. That's cool. Nature was trying to take her back and I said, "No! It's mine! Pay for it! Stay away from my truck." You should be able to just pick it up. Right? Or does it not work like that? Does it not? That would be sad if it works differently. I missed a bolt. Excuse me. Every day I'm getting closer to taking a bath time with a little toaster. Somebody just tell me what I'm doing wrong. Just don't worry about my pride. It's already... I have none. Just... Oh. Well, that wasn't tight either. Are there bolts underneath? I sure hope not. There's a bunch of spider webs down there. I don't like spiders. If that's not clear by now. Somebody help me, I'm new! Those ones are tight. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? We really didn't have short people in mind when they put this thing together. Really didn't. If you haven't figured it out by now, I don't exactly have my head in the clouds. Like, physically. Metaphorically, yes. Physically, no. How do I put it? If I was in a house fire, I don't have to crawl on the ground to stay out of the smoke. Whenever someone tells me, "Watch out, you might hit your head," never have. You know, as soon as I get this thing apart, I'm going to realize that I forgot to do something, didn't realize that I needed to do something, or it's going to be blatantly obvious the way that I should have done it, and then I'm going to feel like an absolute idiot. But guess what? I started out my day that way, so it's fine. Problem is, I don't want to take all this apart because I don't have all these gaskets. But I guess I've got to. I'm at that point of no return, feels like. How do I get this apart? It's loose, alright. Just doesn't want to do the thing in the stuff. I wish you would do the thing in the stuff. Feels like it's gonna go. I've been told that before. Well, if it isn't obvious, I got cold. So that would explain these and this. Anyway, I don't really know how I'm gonna... I may be getting a cold. Pardon me. Now that I have the intake off, I can clean it out. But I don't really know how I'm going to do that. I have no ideas. It currently is super duper freezing outside, obviously. And I have turned off all of my hose bibs, so I can't just like spray this thing out and put it back on. So here's my plan. Is it a good plan? Probably not, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to take this piece of ratchet strap that I found in the garbage, and I'm going to see if I can thread it through here and, you know, see if I can floss out that dirt dauber nest. I don't even know what's in this half of the intake manifold. I only scoped this direction, so I have no idea what's over here. I should probably scope this side, but there's a good chance that the batteries in my scope are dead, so I'm not even going to look. I'm going to give this a go. Like I said, I don't really know what to do. All the corners on this intake manifold are square. They're not round. None of them are round. They're all square. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's going to be a little bit difficult to feed this thing through here. I think. Probably. Oh, I can see the dirt dauber nest. It's right there. And there it is. Little dirt dauber nest. It's actually pretty good sized. Now that I'm looking at it, that ratchet strap isn't going to do anything because the dirt dauber nest is on that side of the intake. I thought it was on this side. Nope. Let's see. I do have a piece of brazing rod here. Try and maybe bend it a little and see if I can't break up that dirt dauber nest. Ow! No, I forgot that stuff doesn't bend. Okay. Caution to the wind. Scraping. Alright. I broke off a piece. Okay, let's try this again. Decided to go fancy and went with stainless TIG rod because it was the first thing I saw. This is not super duper working. You know what I mean? I wish I had like a brush thing I could push in there. But all the angles are so tight, I don't know how I'd get a brush of any kind in there. That ought to get them. Fire. Is the fire supposed to be on the outside? I don't know if they did anything, but it was a good time. Should I put it out? Ha! Check this out. Fire. Ugh. Well, I got the intake just about as clean as I possibly could, and by that I mean I kind of tried. All I care is that I want to hear this engine run. That's good enough for me. So I think it's time to throw it back together. Hopefully I didn't lose any of the bolts. Well, seeing that it is my first time ever monkeying with one of these things, I really don't want to mess anything up, but I guess I won't know that I've messed something up until I really know, you know? So, I hope I'm doing this right. I'm assuming you gotta put these little rings into the intake manifold before you put the gasket on. That just seems to make sense for some reason. but I also don't know. Are you supposed to put them on the head instead of the intake manifold? I don't know. Are you? Does it matter? Do they go in a certain direction? Because I'm not checking. I don't know. Okay, now like very, very greasy and gnarly looking gasket that I'm going to ignore. Lift it up. And I dropped the gasket already. I'm already starting to question myself. I know someone out there is going to say, "You're getting grease all over the gasket. It's not going to work." You're probably right. Well, the exhaust is just going to be extra loud now. It's going to have an exhaust leak. That end of the gasket broke off. Although, did I break that off? That might have already been broken off. This thing's really bent. And I did break it just now. Don't tell anyone. Well, I've got all the intake and exhaust manifold bolts back in and torqued right up to 1 grunt. I don't know what the torque spec is, but I don't really care. So now it is time to see if my carburetor fits. It took me forever to find a carburetor, and really the best, maybe not the best, the easiest and cheapest place to get this was on Amazon. It was $100. There's a lot of them on there that claim that they fit this particular engine, and then you start looking at the dimensions, and for one, they're in candy measurements, M&Ms. And for two, most of them aren't even close. The biggest issue was the bolt spacing. Most of them were like just under 3 inches. Like, that's not even close. Not even kind of. So hopefully this one fits. This is the one I could find that was the closest. And the thing, what is that? There's a big old scratch on the inside of the carburetor. Anyway, Amazon said that this is a highly returned item, which makes me think that this probably isn't going to work out all that well, but cross your fingers. I genuinely hope this carburetor fits. I don't really care how well the engine runs. This thing could be a massive pile of garbage and I'd still be happy if I could get the engine running. Please fit. Ah! I need to just... Okay, we're making progress. It would be super cool if this engine would just run. Well, that actually went fairly smoothly. But after installing the carburetor, I realized that I don't have the correct fitting for the carburetor, and I also can't hook up the vacuum line to the distributor because that fitting is also different, but it's not something that I can change at all. It's like it's in the carburetor. There's no threads. It's like it's part of it. I might not even do anything with it at all. But because I can't finish the fuel system, I might as well work on something else. And I started looking around and I noticed that there are no battery cables in this truck anywhere. I think just about everything else is hooked up, but there's no battery cables. Luckily, when I bought the truck, I got several cardboard boxes full of parts, and there just so happen to be battery cables in there. So I'm going to put those on, and then I'm going to snoop around for a battery and find one that's mostly dead. Alright, I've got the battery cables all worked out. It's time to put the battery in. If you're wondering where I got this one, and I'm sure that you weren't, I was going to use the battery out of my trash car. And then I thought, oh, maybe I'll try and start the car and see if the battery has any life left in it. It should. It started every time I needed it to all summer. And then I went to start it and it was absolutely freaking dead. There was like 2 volts in the battery. Don't ask me what happened, but at least I could go get a new one under warranty. So technically this battery was free. Isn't that nice? This is the... Oh! This is the dumbest place I've ever seen a battery placed ever in my whole life. But it'll be okay. Because my battery cables are so long, it doesn't really matter where I put it. Because they'll reach. I can put the battery in the bed. I feel like I could. I just want to see... I just want to see if this thing will turn over, you know? Will it? Maybe. Wait. Fire test. I think I wouldn't be so nervous about this fire test if my nose actually worked, but it doesn't. I can't smell anything. So I'm just gonna look for smoke and hope that if there's no smoke, that there's no fire. I don't know if everything's hooked up. I don't know if everything's hooked up correctly that I've hooked up, because I've just guessed. So, well, here's to hoping. By the way, ignore the fact that I'm wearing totally different clothes. I'm attempting to create the illusion that it is still the same day. There we go. There we go. Ooh, we got lights on the dash. Nothing from the starter. We got lights? Ooh, we got lights! How many? Ah, 3 out of 4. That's not too bad. Oh, do the back ones work? Yeah, the back lights work! Made myself a jumper wire. We're gonna try it out this way. Maybe my starter relay's bad. But I use this piece of wire specifically because it's blue. And how am I gonna do this? I don't. Woo! Hey! That's something. Woo! Okay. Hot! Back from the parts store. Got a new starter solenoid. Got the right fitting for the carburetor. Hopefully I could get this thing going in a quick hurry, because I don't have a whole lot of time left today. Get off of there. If this doesn't solve my cranking issue, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I could try pulling the starter off, see if I can clean it up a little bit, get it to run better. Well, it's a good thing these aren't permanent. Those holes are pretty stripped out. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. If you ignore the problem, it'll go away. Alright, let's try this again. Come on now. Alright. Yeah, I think that battery's a little bit too small, but we got it cranking over. We need to figure out a temporary fuel system for this carburetor, because I'm 100% certain that the tank is either full of rust or full of varnish. It would be really great if I could just put fuel in this thing and hook up the fuel lines to the carburetor and just run it off of the stock system, but there is absolutely no way that that's going to work out. I love that this still has the tank in it. It's kind of scary having a fuel tank right behind the cab, but oh. Excuse me while I unlock the gas cap. Yeah, I don't see it happening. I'm pretty sure that this tank is empty. I don't have my phone or a flashlight. Oh, yeah, that was a bad idea. Oh man. Oh, it smells like Grandpa's medicine. if he mixed it with turpentine. I think I did finally get the right fitting for this carburetor. And by the right fitting, I mean I found one that fits. I did. Look at that. Beautiful. Come on now. Only gotta run for a few little seconds. Yep, sure, okay! Ooh, do I have hose clamps? I have not even checked to see if I have hose clamps. Which means that I probably don't have any hose clamps. Which is fine. And it is kind of a bummer, but this carburetor came with like a slip-on fitting for the vacuum advance on the distributor. So I'm not gonna be able to hook that up. But I mean, it's only gotta idle. That's all we care about. Okay. I have learned over the years, if you're gonna use these, never mind. If you're gonna use these Harbor Freight hose clamps, definitely grab more than one, because they, 5 times out of 10, maybe more, maybe less, they strip out before they even get tight. So, word of warning there. Can't trust them at all. I would say as far as you can throw them, but they're tiny. You can throw them a really long ways. Come on now. Work for me the first time. Before I get too far ahead of my own self, I realized that I hadn't tested spark yet. And I have been looking for, I don't even know how long, for my spark tester. You know, the little thing you put on the spark plug and the spark plug wire, and then it goes blink, 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 blink if you have spark, and then it doesn't if you don't. And I have one. I know for a fact I have one. I haven't seen it for a long time, and I have no idea where I put it. I have looked all over in here. It's probably just one of those magical disappearing things, like a 10mm socket. And I'm kind of leaning towards just try and start this thing right now, because the only way I have to start this engine is by turning the key, and I can't see the spark out here from in there. So I'm gonna look for another like 13 seconds for that spark tester. Sometimes I amaze myself. I'm a genius. Okay, hopefully that's close enough. Tell me if you see anything. Yay, we have spark. So I got that all put back together. Now it's time to expertly assemble my redneck fuel system, consisting of this water bottle. I already drilled a hole in the lid of the water bottle, and I snuck it over the fuel line. I put a piece of tie wire around the water bottle so I can hang it upside down. The electrical tape is mostly just for looks, but also just in case it tries to slip off. So I'm gonna put some 2-stroke fuel in here just to help out, you know, lubrication a little bit, and see if we can't get this thing fired up. I'm just hoping that this doesn't spill gas all over the place. Not seeing any leaks so far. Let's see. Ooh, do we have squirtage already? Cool. All right, let's give it a shot. Probably close the choke. Hopefully she'll fire off. Let's find out. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, might have to put the jump pack on her. She's not spinning over very fast. Oh, come on, baby! Close that choke back down. Come on now. Come on. I think we might. And I don't know if we need more battery power, but I'm going to give it that. see what happens with this here. Alright. That hooked up. That hooked up. Alright, let's try this again. Holy crap, I can't believe it rides! Woo! Yeah! Holy crap, you guys, I can't believe it! It runs! Woo! Alright! Woo! Oh, that's super cool! Well, would you look at that? We got her running. Unfortunately, I can't leave it running for very long because it is missing a freeze plug, therefore no coolant. So that'll have to be good enough for now. I absolutely love this truck, and it is not going anywhere. So if any of you have any ideas on what I should do with this truck, because I have no plan, then let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Even just a name for the truck. What should we name it? What should I do with it? Should I leave this engine in? Get it running and driving the way it is? Should I put my other engine in it? Or what? I have no idea. But this is going to have to do it for now. I'm very, very excited to have this thing running, and it idles so smoothly. It doesn't even smoke. This is the best thing ever. So, yeah, let me know down in the comments. I will see you in the next video, and you will see this truck again.